Someone mentioned this to me the other day, and I can't stop thinking about it. It's about moving from being unconsciously incapable to unconsciously capable. So I'll give you an example. I'll jump right into it so that you can understand what I'm talking about. And I'll use the example of skiing, something near and dear to my heart. I grew up skiing in the mountains, and it was my first sport passion and my love growing up. So let's say you grew up in the Bahamas and you don't know anything about skiing. You've never been to the mountains and you've never pictured yourself skiing. So you are unconsciously incapable of skiing. Let's say one of your friends one time comes to you and says, "Hey, we're going on a skiing trip. Do you want to join us?" And then you start thinking, "Oh, well, I don't know how to ski." And you start picturing yourself, what it would look like for you to ski. You become consciously incapable. You know you can't ski. And let's say you even get to the slopes and you click your boots into the skis and you immediately fall down and you're getting all tangled up in your gear. And so you're sitting there like, oh, wow, I'm incapable. But then you take a few lessons and you start to get the hang of it. And the first time you make it down the hill without falling, maybe you high five your instructor and you're like, yeah, I can do this. So you become consciously capable. And maybe years go by and you go on a skiing trip every year and you don't even have to think about it at that point. You're riding up the chairlift, you're chatting with your friends, you're getting off, you're getting down the hill. Not only are you capable of doing it, but you're enjoying it. So you're unconsciously capable at this point. So there are dark and light sides to this. So I'm going to use another example of maybe how this could go the wrong way for you. Obviously, skiing's on the lighter side of things. So let's say you've just graduated from university, you're looking for a job, and I'll use the example of sales. And let's say you don't even know what sales is. When I was in school, I didn't know the difference between sales and marketing. So you're unconsciously incapable because you don't even know what this is, and you get offered a job opportunity as a salesperson selling who knows what. And you get into it and you realize, oh wow, I don't know the first thing about this. You're struggling, it's that learning curve when you're brand new in a new company. So you're consciously incapable at that point. But then you start following mentors, your people that you work in the office with, and maybe taking some courses and really learning the sales techniques. And then you start selling. Maybe there's some hiccups here and there. You're not closing all the deals, but you're consciously capable at this point. And then maybe you're in the field for 20 years and you are closing every single deal. You don't even have to think about it. It's just all happening on autopilot. So that's great for your career. And then how does that seep into your external world? How many times are you then out with your friends and you convince everyone to go to a specific bar because there's someone that you want to see, or you are selling something to your family because it ultimately benefits you, not necessarily them. So you're bringing those techniques out into your world without consciously thinking about them. So, how many things in your life are like that? Maybe on the lighter side or the positive side of things, it's playing the piano. You don't have to think about it. Speaking multiple languages, problem solving, regulating your nervous system with techniques that you've learned in your yoga class, or leadership skills. Those are all positive traits of things that you've learned throughout your life. And maybe on the less desirable side, there's manipulating to get what you want, or self sabotage, or triggering people that you care about. So maybe you're unconsciously doing this. You don't mean to do it. You're not trying to be a mean person, but they're habits, they're traits, they're things that you have learned over the course of your life. And we all come into this world as a blank canvas, a blank slate, and we look at the world around us for people to teach us, to show us. And whether it's your family, your friends, your school, your higher education, whatever it is that you're paying attention to, you're taking all that on. So I invite you to think about the things in your life that you might be running on autopilot, that you might be unconsciously capable of, for good and for bad. and just take some time to note it and evaluate it and see if there's maybe a way that you can backtrack it, a way that you can change it so that you can just adjust a little bit. If it's a not so desirable one, adjust it a little bit so that you can move forward into a better version of yourself. All right. Thanks for listening.